Okay, so another one I say is, if you watch from my channel, I've done tons of Linux videos. The first sort of wave of these videos is about, it's called Linux out of the box, which is basically about just getting the USB, installing on your machine and see if it will work. And as you see, if you watch the videos, some things work out of the box, some things don't work out of the box. They all need a bit of a tweak. There's no real perfect Linux distribution yet that installs and does the core things that I believe that an operating system should do, which is content creation, word processing rubbish, emailers and stuff, a bit of AI, and basically gaming. So the one we're looking at now is CachyOS. Now, Cachy's up sort of the belle of the ball at the moment in the Linux world. It's really fast, it's really powerful, it's really good. However, it's not necessarily, when you read about it, it's like designed for, not designed for experts, but like you need expert use, whatever. I don't believe in any of that. I think that these things should be accessible to everybody. So I'm trying to make, I'll do these videos, try and make them accessible to you. And you can follow this, do content, do games, all this sort of business. So when you first get here, you get this screen. And the first thing you need to do, once you've followed through the installation process, click Apps and Tweaks and install the gaming packages. And what that will do is basically put Steam, Lutris, and Heroic, which are games launchers, on your platform. The key one is Steam. So once that's done, just leave that load, close that down. And then if you go to the bottom corner here, we've got games. And in here, we've got Steam, we've got Lutris, and we've got Heroic. So I'm going to launch Steam. I think I'm going to launch the right one. He says, I'll launch the flatpak version. Yeah. Oh, no, I haven't. Okay, we're in. So this will come up. There's my Steam. Now, you can do normal stuff. You can launch into big game mode, all this sort of business, but it's incredibly easy. At home, you've got this thing in here. You've got compatibility settings. You go into compatibility, and Proton is the layer that allows Windows games to work on Linux. So you've got Proton Experimental, you've got Proton, and you've got a Cachy native package. So when you get a Cachy, I would recommend using their one. What will have to happen now, you'll have to restart Steam to do that, because the Cachy developers, the people behind Cachy, they do their own stuff. They like look at optimizing everything. They tweak everything. Brilliant, So use the Cachy version. Let's make sure we can relaunch that. What it says, here we are, we're back again. Okay, so now we're relaunching it, but now you're using CachyOS. It's Proton. So let's go in here. At the stop, the home, got some kind of graphical glitch here. Go home. Yeah, some strange glitch happening. Library. And let's do installed. Let's start that again. That's just not playing, is it? Let's done something funky. Do this. Just bear with me. It shouldn't normally do this. It's do Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Go to library, see what happens there. I've done something. There we go. I had no idea what I did then. Anyway, back to normal. Back to normal store features. Home. Okay. Now I've got Call of Duty in here, and it's there. Click on that. We're going to launch it. Play Call of Duty, and it'll process Vulkan shaders. Do Vulkan shaders. I'm not sure what that means. Someone technical can answer those questions. And I don't know if you can skip them. Shall we skip them? Bit boring, aren't they? Skip that. Wonder if it'll still launch. And you should be able to, it should, doing the background, it should, here we go. Now, yes. There we go. Okay, so you get, it's Proton, right? So you're going to have a few little bumps as you do this with when you play things. You're going to get these weird questions. It's going to look like Windows has taken over your machine for a second. And you're going to have to just cope with that. So it'll come up with DirectX, anti-cheat, punk buster, all these sorts of weird things anyway. So it's forgotten the options. It's forgotten the graphic settings I had it on. So let's put it on 380. Put it on 4K. Yeah. Apply. Yep. Now this game predates RTX graphics cards. It's one of the early Modern Warfare, so it was really good. So anyway, let's, the early ones were good. Resume game, yeah. And let's see what Soap and Oh, some guy's been killed. I feel a mission coming on. And yeah, so we'll just dive in. Now, what will happen is I'll just show it to you, and then we'll move on to the other parts. I mean, this is the easy bit. Getting the games running, thankfully, on Cachy is super simple. Rescue Nikolai. Yeah. Objective. Let's get going. And we're waiting for Captain Price. Here we go. What's going on in there? Let's have a look up there. What's up to? Anybody in here? No. You see, it runs perfectly. It runs really well. Even AAA titles today. The thing about Linux is basically because it's so efficient in the first place that basically any game that you play on this is sort of starting from a better place. So what you lose on Windows, you gain with Linux. So they sort of even themselves out. So they're very, 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 very similar in performance in many ways. I mean, sometimes there's some videos I've seen where people got 25% performance drops and don't think they've got their machine set up properly. But anyway, okay, that's that. So save and quit. Save and quit. Okay, and quit. Yeah. Right, okay. So apart from that wobble at the beginning, which is probably something I did, that's Steam, that's games. So when you first get to this platform, there's something pretty nasty. When you go in here, you're used to like Microsoft Store, you're used to the App Store, you're used to just clicking on stuff and getting your software. Cachy doesn't do that. A lot of the Linux distributions do, but it's not a very pleasant experience in Cachy stuff. You go into System and you get presented with this, which is the Package Manager, which is it's functional, isn't it? But look at the names of these things. Yeah, so we want something nicer. So just literally skip this, ignore that you even saw it, and then to go to the hit repo at the top here and type PMAC, and there's a thing called PAMAC, I can't pronounce it. Install that, and then down here in your system, you'll have this, which is way better. So basically, now you've got a proper software installer, and all you need to do, he says, you go into Preferences, and here's my password, and in my password, and then you go third party, and then you need to enable Flatpaks, because that will give you access to a lot more software. Okay, there's some advanced stuff here. Yes, check enable. Don't need any of that. So yeah, so now you've got a lot more software to play with. So the first thing, because we're going to put AI on this, we're just going to look for a thing called a llama, and you'll find it here. And because I've got an NVIDIA card, I need the CUDA version, so I would install this one. And brilliant, that's gone on. So say I've installed it, and then you need this, which is Alpaca. So that Alpaca is a front end for a llama. And then once you've got those two done, you've now got a workable local AI. I'll just show you that. So first thing you need to do, now this is annoying, sorry you have to go to terminal for this. So to get a llama started, so get the engine started, it's OLM, he says, OLA, serve. What this does is kicks off the engine part at the back, okay, that does runs the models. And then we launch, here we are in development, you launch Alpaca. Now, because you're running everything locally, you have to download the models from the cloud. Let's get rid of that chat. Let's delete that one. Delete them from the cloud. So you need to pull them down. So if you go up here, you go to available models. If you go to Llama, the website, these are all the available models you can pull down. So you can do really super simple ones, smaller versions. I've pulled down this one, which is GPT-OSS, which is basically, hang on, it's a 14 gig model, so just about fit in my video RAM, and it's ChatGPT, so open source thing, so it should be pretty good. So anyway, we'll come back to using this in a minute. So it's all set up ready to run, and yeah, so I've got at the top. So normal chat box, but I'll show you how we use this. Okay, so that's AI, that's games. So we need some sort of thing. I'm going to close this down because this will shut down a llama. Close window. And then I'll need to run that again when I run Alpaca in a minute. So then we need like a Photoshop person. Now you can use a thing called GIMP, and then there's a thing that you can put over the top of it to make it more Photoshoppy, but that's like, why bother? There's a brilliant website. It's like an online version of Photoshop that you can use. It's got pretty much everything you need, called Photopea. Now, I think you pay, if you want to subscribe, you can pay £5, $5 a month, and you get all the functionality without any advertising. If you can use it for nothing with the advertising. And it's very powerful. You get AI credits. It's got AI stuff, and here you go. So this is it. It's got everything you'd expect. Very Photoshoppy, 3D, liquify, render, Fourier, tons of stuff. More WebGL account. So there you go. You can upgrade $5 a month. I mean, at the moment, I think Adobe's fleecing me nearly £100 a month for all those things, for Premiere, for Photoshop, and all that. Well, I only ever use Photoshop and Premiere, but I have to get the whole lot, don't I? Because it works out so expensive. So you can sort of get rid of that. Anyway, so that's Photoshop taken over. Now, the other one is the last part of the puzzle for content creation on here. So we've got games, do word processing. We've got the AI worked out. I want to do content. Now, you can use a thing called KDE Live, which is a free editor, or you can spend a little bit of money, and it's the most worthwhile money you're ever going to spend on software, on a copy of the proper copy of DaVinci Resolve. Now, that's £225 in the UK. You can do everything with it. Literally, it's incredibly powerful, and it's got audio, everything built in if you've not used it. You can get a free version, you can use that, but I recommend paying for it because of its AI functionality, which you'll see in a minute. It's very clever. But getting it into Cachy is a bit of a sticking point. There's a thing called the AUR something, and it's where all the software sits, and I don't understand that. So I wrote a script to make this really simple. So basically, I'll put the link to the script up here. If you go into downloads, you have to just download a copy, whichever one you want, the studio version or the free version. You put it next to this script, and then you run the script in console. Sorry, there's a few more of these. You just do chmod plus X, X, he says, and then you drag that in there. That makes it executable. If you oh, I've done it wrong. Hang on. Look at it. One mistake with one mistake with Linux, and it's all wrong. It's like a typo nightmare. Chmod plus X space. Then you drag that in. That's executable, and then you can run it. And let's just do that. So it's looking for the version it'll do loads of weird stuff. I don't know, I got AI to write it. Do you know what I mean? On here with the AI, it wrote it. So this is the other thing about having AI. If you've got any questions about Linux, and here's my password again, just ask an AI. Back in the day, you'd have to sit there, go into a forum, you decide to reinstall it, but you get options or upgrade. So, back in the day, you'd have Wikipedia, you'd have forums, but it's not like that anymore. You don't need to ask. And you can say, dumb things about Linux. Ask dumb questions. Don't ask forums. Just ask ChatGPT or Claude or any of the AIs, and it'll get you 90% of the way. So that's literally installed Resolve. Okay, obviously it's been longer because I've already got it on there. And we just fire it out. And it appears here. And there's Resolve. There's DaVinci Resolve. Now, hopefully it won't ask me for my, yeah, great. So we're straight in. Now, the first thing you do when you do Resolve is this. It'll appear tiny. So you need to go up here to DaVinci Resolve, Preferences, and go to System, User, and then change the UI display to whatever you want to. I've got it on 200. So that's probably like an HD display. You can put it to 150 if you want. And then all of a sudden you've got all your tiny things will become normal. So that's safe. So we've got Resolve now ticking along, and let's just have a look at how we can use some of these tools together. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop recording, and I'm going to use the beginning of this video as the thing that we play with. So I'm just going to stop recording. He says it's OBS. OBS going to open. There we go. And we're going to stop. Okay, so I started recording again. Let's just hide that. And let's fire up Resolve. And Resolve. Let's make a new project, create. I've been recording in AVC1 using the encoders on the NVIDIA card. This is what we've just shot. Change frame rate. And now we're going to create a new timeline. Create. Right click on that. Timeline settings. I want it to be 4K. Switch up project settings. Switch this to UHD, orbit zone. There's your R2 UHD. Okay, now my timeline's a 4K timeline. Go to edit. So there's my there's me rambling on at the beginning of the video. So first I'll just show you with the AI tools, because I'm talking to a microphone to see this background noise. So if you have AI tools in here, you can just go voice isolation, put it down to about, I don't know, 38%, so I don't sound like a robot. And obviously if I'm leaning in and out of the mic, which I'm doing now, just put a dialogue leveler, because as you speak louder and softer, it'll work that out. So there you go. You do your edit, you put your card in. So in your Photoshop program, Photopea, you can make your start card, or you could just effects, generators, solid color. Let's move that along. You can do a lot of it in here. Put a solid color in, put that over there. There's a solid color. What color is it? Let's make it, I don't know. Let's make it purple. The color of indecision. Put that in there. Oh, that's vile. But you've got loads of stuff. You've got loads of these. I don't know. Let's do some cheesy intro thing. Let's put that in there. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that. That's just cheesy. So CachyOS. So there's my cheesy intro. Okay, that's done. Okay, so I've done a bit of audio stuff there, leveled it, whatever. And now I want to export it. So what you do is just go to the delivery page. We're going to switch to, go to YouTube. Not going to broadcast. HD, UHD version. Go down here. We're going to switch the output to AV1 because it is AV1. Use the NVIDIA encoders. I mean, the beauty of it now is even with the free version or the free version or the paid version, on Linux, you can now do ProRes, which means you actually can professionally finish work. It used to be such hoops to get it to be proper ProRes. And so you've got that. So, and audio-wise, the last thing you need to do is just normalize your audio track. So what that does is, like, if you're going loud and up and down with your volume levels, normalization just sort of brings it all down. So it doesn't, I think it's minus 23 LUFS for UK broadcast. There's a certain amount for each of them. So what is it going to sound? Does it tell me an amount for YouTube? So there you go. It's minus 14 LKFs, which is sort of smooths it out. So I'm done. So I can sort of render out my output now, and I've made my video. So I'm going to export it, all this sort of business. But what I do need, I need to write a description. So we go back to edit, and I click on A, click that, and then up here there's a little bubble. If I click on that bubble, it will transcribe the audio that's in the timeline. Take a second to do it. Here we go, 40. And yeah, so it's going to be a text version of the thing, because why would I want to write a description of my video when I've actually just done a voiceover of it? And then it's like, what do I say? So this is just super simple. If you want to knock out YouTube videos really quickly, this is the way to do it. So you've done you only worked, like smart work. You've only worked once. So it'll pop up now with all that covered. So there we go. And then I'm going to export that to there, to text file. Close, and that's done. So I've got my file sat there. I'm about to upload it to YouTube, whatever. So I need to run a Llama again quickly. Now you can do this in ChatGPT online if you've got the account, but I mean, this is like the free version. A Llama serve. By the way, if it does that, press the right arrow key, and then it'll sort of fill in for you. Right, so that's running. So what I need to do now is go to development, Alpaca, keyboard for right, and then new chat. From this transcript, write a YouTube, can't spell, but it's AI, it doesn't care. So YouTube description for my video and give me a keyword friendly title. And all you need to do then is go into the file manager bit, and what did I do? Video, wasn't it? Video, text file, timeline 1, drag that in. He says, drag that in. And then just like you do with ChatGPT, online, we could do it, you can do this with Claude, you do it with whatever, you tweak it. But I mean, as I'm saying, this is local and free. So, I mean, you can pay your subscription. We're in this weird place now. We had Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, Disney. I mean, there's so many streaming channels, isn't it? And now we've switched to how many AIs can we be subscribed to? So it's like Anthropic, Grok, and ChatGPT. So, you can do it like this free. If you want to do another way, which is like pay as you go, is using not the Tesla, not Elon Musk Grok. There's another Grok thing which you can connect to this, which you only pay for tokens as you use them. So if you don't use it that much, it's very, very useful. And also the tokens on Grok, I'll show you what, actually, whilst that's rumbling away in the background, I'll go there and you can just so you know what the website looks like. Grok, there we go. It's not with a K. So here you go. So you get a developer's key from here. There's a really easy, can't paste it into the back of Alpaca, and just look at the pricing. So the model I'm using now, you can use a massive one for 15 cents for 6.67 million tokens in. That's ridiculously cheap. And it's very powerful. Or you could just use ChatGPT, I mean, this is going to take a little bit of time, hopefully not too long. Just have a look here. Let's bring up the system monitor. System. What's going on with the RAM? Okay, so the GPU's rumbling along quite merrily because it's got to load the model into memory. And then it's got, I think, 14 gig. It's a 14 gig model, so it might be just on the edge of the free RAM you get with the card. I think you only get about 16. Somewhere in here, there's a way to... The CPU's kicking off. GPU, that's tanking out there. Look at that. 56%. Why is it only using half? There's 2 GPUs in here. There's, actually for the specs at the beginning, there's the 6110M and the 5060. That's physical memory, isn't it? Networking. But yeah, I mean, you can Alama. It's using 9 gig. Oh, I've still got Steam running. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, that's probably going to free up a bit of memory. Anything else I've got running in the background, I shouldn't have. I've only got 32 gig of RAM on this system, so it's not like a monster. I mean, but a lot of it's obviously it's an offset, isn't it? It's to do with your graphics card memory, your video card memory, all these kind of stuff. But I mean, what is nice here, you can see everything that's running, and none of it is trying to get me to install Candy Crush or anything like that, is it? So it's still rumbling away. I mean, you're probably thinking, oh, why don't you just do online? Why don't you just do online? I mean, you can install a supporter model, but yeah, so this is free. But anyway, I mean, this will come through in a sec. And what you do is you just copy the transcript up, put it on, and then afterwards ask it to generate the keywords. Try to do it. I must have been talking a lot. But so just to summarize with this, let's leave that running. Repeating 10 gig memory. Basically, Catch is brilliant, but you've got to be aware that it's sort of like a bit rough around the edges. It's very much cutting edge, rolling release type thing. So it's going to take its, it updates sometimes break it, but it is super quick and it's all performance based. And so running games on this, stuff like that, you get the most performance you can out of a Linux distribution. Using Resolve and things like that, again, it's like maximum power. This is just going on forever. It's going to let me down. Should have chosen a smaller model. What have we got in there? I've got the Llama 3.21 billion. That's not smart enough. It's trying it. Yeah, So that's just an advert, great advert for subscribing to ChatGPT and using the online version, isn't it really? I haven't sold this at all. But seriously, I mean, maybe a smaller model, maybe if I want for an 8 billion parameter, I'm thinking 8, but there we go. You've done it. You got there in the end. So it is CachyOS Linux Gaming and AI Masterclass. Nice. Install, setup, create like a pro 2025. I'm going to use this. This is actually the name of the video. Okay. But it isn't, because I've got like a series name. So anyway, but there you go. So it's literally going to power down all the information. Here at Games Launcher, Llama, Alpaca from GitHub. That's clever. It's picked out what I've spoken about. You can do this in normal ChatGPT. There's no magic here, but you can see it's done it. Got questions? Drop them in the comments. You may be seeing this below the video, or maybe not. I don't know. Pretty cool. And it's giving me a load of tags. So follow me on socials at your handle. So that's that. There you go. So I hope that's helped. I mean, reload Cachy in. It's an amazing operating system. It's very, very powerful. It's great, but it's a bit rough around the edges for people who don't know anything about Linux. And I hope that sort of guides you through the major food groups of operating systems, which is content creation, gaming, and typing stuff. And oh no, there's the other food and AI stuff. So you can do all of that now. And I hope someone finds that useful. Anyway, I'll put the install script for the DaVinci Resolve thing in below. And if you like and subscribe on that, that'd be great. I'll make more of these. I'm going to make more, whether you like them or not, to tell you the truth. Anyway, with that, thanks for watching.